Hello there, and it is now the next morning that I'm recording this video from yesterday's video, so be sure to check that out before you watch this one. And I'm awkwardly crouched here because I'm at my Calyx unit. Now, this isn't going to be a video where I talk about it. I'm sure you know much about most of these Lego figures, so I'm just going to time lapse it all and show you once I'm done. Hello there again, and now that you've seen the time lapse of me putting the minifigures on this display stand, I have mixed them around a bit, just got them into their own eras. So you can see we start off with the minifigures that come sort of before the Phantom Menace. We've got some Old Republic minifigures right at the bottom down here, and then we go across to the Young Jedi Adventures, and I've also got a custom Master Sifo Dyas. I think we get a look at him in the Clone Wars, and that's what I've based this off. I can't really remember where I got the image, but we got a Master Sifo Dyas who is responsible for creating the clone army, or at least Dooku uses his name to get it created. And then we move on to Phantom Menace figures. We have a mix of sort of episode 2 that blends into Clone Wars. One of my favourite figures is this droid that just has 3PO's head like we see during the first Battle of Geonosis. And then we're on to Clone Wars for 2 rows. Before we get to episode 3, we have other characters like Saw Gerrera just at the end. We also have the Bad Batch with a custom Tarkin, and if you didn't spot, my custom Yularen is in this collection. And then as we go along, we've got Ned B and Luke from Kenobi. We also have Ezra, and I've made a custom Cal Kestis that I'll be putting to use in the future. And we also have a few of the special figures from A New Hope and the Boba Fett that Technically, Boba wasn't introduced in A New Hope, but because of the special editions, we do see Boba there. So I thought his special would go alongside the other ones. And we also have Luke and Han from the trash compactor scene, as well as 3PO and X-Wing Luke, R2. X-Wing Luke is different to the Snowspeeder Luke, as whilst the costume is pretty much the same. I mean, there's a breathing tube which does go the other way, but the main difference you might be able to notice is X-Wing Luke has black hands and Snowspeeder Luke has white. It's the easiest difference to spot, and they both have custom printed arms from Firestore. Don't forget to use my code for 10% off. But back to the minifigures. We then have the Empire Strikes Back figures, which consist of a row of Hoth and Lobot at the end. Then we got a Dagobah row, and then we got more of an Imperial row with IG missing, but we do have the other 5 bounty hunters, as well as General Veers and Vader at the end. And then Return of the Jedi is looking a bit lacking. We have Wicket, we have Akbar, and we have the Luke that I just got from the annual. Now, when I open this advent calendar, we will get not only another Ewok, but also the Leia from Endor, and a new Palpatine head, my Palpatine, Vader, and Luke from the final duel set, much like many of my A New Hope minifigures are on their displays, and that also includes the Dark Troopers and Luke from that Mando Season 2 diorama. All my diorama videos are up, so you can check them out, and there are plenty more on the way. There's also then a row of Mandalorian. Now, I tried to separate it in seasons. Season 2 and 3 sort of mixed at the back, but most of the Season 1 minifigures are here at the front, including a custom quill, as I didn't pick up the UCS Razor Crest. And we of course have IG-11 there, which does have a different head to the IG-88 of the Bounty Hunters. And then we have Boba Fett in his armour, in his freshly repainted armour, and Cad Bane. Onto the Ahsoka minifigures. Again, the diorama minifigures are missing, as they are still on my diorama. But we have Ahsoka, Sabine, Huyang, Marok, and Thrawn, who are, as of this video releasing, we are yet to see in the series. We know he will appear thanks to the trailers, but we just don't know when. We then move on to episode 7 for 2 rows, and we have a row of episode 8 and episode 9, including my favourite sequel figures in this Luke and Leia from the flashback where they are training, which uses episode 7's Akbar torso and also an old Ben torso for Leia. And they each have different A-Wing helmets. Now, I also have my custom minifigure at the front, which does look a bit like me, I guess. You can decide in the comments how much so. But I have left multiple spaces in between the rows for all the new minifigures, and especially this bulk at the front doesn't have much space, so I will need to shimmy them up if we get any more prequel era sets, which of course I really do hope we're getting. And that gives me all this space next to it, which is 52 studs to create my own dioramas, which I'll definitely be doing in the future. I think it's about the size of 6 diorama bases, maybe even a little more, which is amazing when it comes to creating mocks, as I can just add so much more detail that I've been complaining the diorama bases are not big enough for. So I hope to be able to build a diorama very soon. And of course, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss out on that video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this display down in the comments below. And may the bricks be with you always.